Yo, what's up, guys? Just got out of the Vader show. It was absolutely super crazy. Shout out to my homies Tony. Shout out to my homie Aaron. Thank you so much for inviting me out and fucking inviting me to the show. It was absolutely killer. I cannot believe how absolutely killer Vader was. Vader was off the chain, shredding, beautiful, heavy chugging guitar tone, beautiful guitar tone, very thick and meaty. Like, honestly, like, that shit was grade A beef certified. I have to put that shit on the grill and fry it up, dude, because that shit was beefy as fuck. Oh my god, that guitar tone was crazy from Vader. Oh my god. And then they, on top of that, I'm just gonna tell it, they closed the show. The final encore song was Rain in Blood, dude. Can you believe that shit from Slayer? Rain in Blood from Slayer. They covered it. Vader. That shit is legendary. I'm going to see it on YouTube tomorrow. I'm going to see Metal Injection cover that shit. I'm going to see that all over YouTube and my newsfeed tomorrow, because that was heavy as fuck. What the hell, dude? I was not expecting Vader to cover Slayer. Oh my god, dude. I swear to God. They sounded better than Slayer. And I've seen Slayer like 3-4 times. They were better than Slayer, dude. What the fuck, dude? Fucking Paul Bostaff, the drummer, they cannot drum like that, dude. That dude is a horrible drummer. Let's just be real. Slayer's drummer, Paul Bostaff, is terrible. Okay, please get a new drummer. All right, Vader sounded 10 times better than that. Honestly, that was so fucking great. All the bands were amazing. Skeletal remains. Let's just get this out of the way. Where did I put it? Right here behind the camera. I got a signed CD. Skeletal remains. There you go. All 3 members. They don't have a bassist because they're cool like that. So all 3 members got it signed. Super fucking sick. They were all super nice guys, all super sick, all super nice to talk to. Really well down to earth. They hung around at the end of their set at the merch booth. And I think they were at the merch table the whole night. So that's how cool they were. Please go check them out, support them. They had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of sick, cool faded merch, like faded t-shirts with like alternate color artwork. Like, it's all faded, like it looked like deep fried, like that type of aesthetic. Super sick. I actually wanted to get one, but their t-shirts sold out in my size, because, you know, I'm a big boy. I need big boy sizes. So their t-shirts sold out. But Skeletal remains, shredder set. They have a new guitarist. Don't forget that. They have a new guitarist. Go check that out immediately. The new guitarist is killer. I met him. I saw him behind after the set. His solos were actually really fucking good. They were unique to the band. Definitely, I've never heard Skeletal Remains like that with his type of solos. His solos were very tasteful. Honestly, they were tasteful. They were they fit the band, and you know, he comes from more of like a, I don't know, more of a power metal kind of background. The new guitarist does. And, you know, he's not really like a full on like death metal guy. So he did bring like a certain flavor to it that you could tell, you know, that someone coming outside of the box can bring to a death metal band. And, you know, that's one of those things, you know, whenever you have a death metal band and one of those musicians is like a jazz player or plays just any type of different genre, even if it's a different genre of metal, like that's different enough to bring something new to the band, you know, a fresh new look, a fresh new insight. Sorry, gotta adjust the t-shirt, I just noticed. 200 Stab Wounds. Love that band. Anyways, Skeletal Remains was fucking sick as fuck. They sounded a little bit weird live because they don't have a full like sound engineer. They don't have a, you know, the whole sound system. So they did sound a little bit wonky. However, I was honestly really happy with how they performed, how they played. Everything about them was super fucking cool. And then the next band that played was, of course, the absolutely legendary Malevolent Creation. They're the absolute death metal legends. If you don't know them, check them out immediately. Their first 2 albums, I believe, the first 2 albums are absolutely death metal legendary history, must listen to records, their first 2. They played amazing. They were great. I saw the guitarist pass by, said, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, great job up there as he was passing by, and he was very cool. He said thank you. So I like that. I like when people, say, oh, thank you. I like when people appreciate comments. So yeah, all the guys from Malevolent Creation were fucking sick. They shredded up there. I think they were tuned to like E standard or drop, like a half a step down. They kind of stood out. I'm not gonna lie. Malevolent Creation kind of stood out. Just because all the other bands are drop tuned, they're tuned really heavy, and Malevolent Creation is kind of a more old school death metal band, so they kind of stood out a little bit. But they fucking shredded, man. They were complete slayers. Even though they were in E standard or half a step down from E standard, their guitar tone was absolutely killer. Super beefy, super heavy. It was a little light, like I said, all the other bands are drop tuned to fucking G or whatever. They're all drop tuned to hell, so Malevolent Creation did stand out a little bit, just a tiny bit. They did sound a little bit more old school than the other bands. But, hey, gotta give respect, they're the OGs, so respect. And then the next band was Kataklysm. Kataklysm, they were actually one of the first bands I ever listened to, death metal wise. I discovered them on YouTube when I was like in middle school. So they were literally one of the very first death metal bands I ever heard of. And they were absolutely incredible. They were super catchy. They have a lot of breakdowns. That's what my friend Aaron was telling me, that they have a lot of breakdowns like deathcore style. So they are a little bit more deathcore influenced, Definitely they take influences from other metal subgenres, which is always good. It's always good when you mix things up. So it was cool hearing like some breakdowns, some heavier chugs from like a death metal band. It was really sick. I haven't listened to them that much, but I definitely will after the show. That's for sure. Super heavy, super chuggy. And I like the frontman. He really knew how to work a crowd. He was very appreciative of people going out to his show. Like, he was very nice to the crowd, very talkative. I like that in a frontman and a singer, when they like talk to the crowd and say thank you. But when they like actually talk about the song too, like, oh, this song, like when they have like a little intro to the song, like, oh, you guys like killing people, I like killing people too. This song's about killing people. Like, like a little intro like that is always like fun. I don't know. I like a little intro before a song. It's always cool when like they go straight into another song, but whenever a band like takes the time to like introduce a song or talk a little bit before the song, I like that. It sets the mood for me, at least, and it always gets me more hyped for the song whenever the vocalist tells a little story or something. I don't know, maybe I'm cheesy, but that's just me. Anyways, like I said, the Kataklysm's vocalist was great. He was a great frontman, worked the crowd very well, got us ready for Vader. And then Vader came up and they destroyed. They're from Poland. They absolutely mopped the floor. You can tell they're definitely a step up from all the other bands. Like, you can tell that Vader was just an absolute step up. They were killer, absolutely monstrous guitar tone, like I said earlier. Monstrous, beefy guitar tone. Like, you could serve that up in a fucking taco, carne asada style. That shit was so beefy, dude. Like, thick and chuggy. He had a Jackson, Randy Rhoads, and then he had EMG on the bridge, which was super sick. EMG 85s, and then he might have had Seymour Duncan's on the neck. I don't really know, but that was super sick. I'm talking about the second guitarist, and then the main guitarist, the singer, and he's playing guitar at the same time, which is fucking incredibly difficult. This dude's shredding, soloing, doing all this crazy stuff up and down the neck, and he's singing at the same time. So that takes unimaginable talent, years and years and years of hard work. And that's one of the main cool things that I liked about Vader, is their songs and their set flowed so smoothly, man. You can really tell that they've been doing this for years and years and years at a high caliber, at a very high caliber, because all of their songs were smooth. They were very, very professional. I really enjoyed how Vader came on and absolutely like delivered a great set that honestly like any death metal fan should see. Like, I had never really seen Vader. I've never seen Vader, never seen Cataclysm. So this was my first time, and they have come to San Diego before. So I've missed them in the past, but I finally got to see them. And again, shout out to Aaron, shout out to Tony. This was a great show. Definitely worth the time. Definitely worth the effort. They had a super nice merch spread. Well, Vader did, and Skeletal Remains had a nice merch spread. Vader especially, they had a bunch of merch. And then yeah, it was actually really fun. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a death metal school. Like, I went to class and I learned a lot about death metal, because holy shit, man, I'm about to go home and set up my guitar. I swear to God, like, that's how cool it was. These guys were chugging, just straight caveman riffs for like the last 4 hours. I just heard like non-stop caveman riffs, dude. Oh my God, that shit was crazy. Man, I really do want to go home and just play my guitar now. Well, I'm probably going to go do that. So hopefully I gave you an idea about the show. Hopefully that was an informative review. Hopefully I gave you an idea about the sound. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Peace.